Cletus.
Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network with your host, Sergeant. Sarge, how you doing?
Cletus,
Sarge.
what's going on, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I'm tired. How you doing?
Well, I'm actually well rested and relaxed. I had some. I fried up rice and pork chops, and had some pork and rice, and chilled. And I actually had a weird experience with a dream.
Yeah.
And nothing. The bed isn't sticky or anything like that. Don't go there.
I was just gonna follow it up with how's your finger?
My finger's still fucked. Yeah, so I got a fucked finger. But here's what happened to me in the dream. This was pretty awesome.
All right.
I was aware that I was talking to myself in a dream. Like I was awake, but I wasn't awake. Kind of awake, but still talking to the myself in the dream. It's almost like my conscious and subconscious were interacting with each other.
Oh, well.
It was fucking awesome.
In your ethereal moment, did your finger still hurt?
I felt no pain.
Oh,
I felt no
like
pain. Although it was probably the finger pain that snapped me out of it before some fucking unearthreal connection was made, and I would have who knows? Maybe I would have ascended somewhere, Cletus. Maybe to the level of where the gas was hanging in the air.
Interesting. What do they call that? Remote viewing. Maybe that's what you're entering into the realm of.
Hey. What the hell happened there? Breaking news. This from the what do you call the clothes? The textile industry. Now, Cletus, I'm one of them men that have too much of everything, and that includes socks and undershorts, Cletus. And you know when you finally realize you probably don't need that many undershorts, Cletus?
When?
It's when your hamper starts making your house smell like ass, because having that many undershorts delays the time between fucking laundry, right? Which was the goal. But now I'm finding out that goal's a rather shitty idea, Cletus.
Just keep your hamper outside.
Away from the house.
Yeah, and put sticky tape on the outside of it, and that way you've got it to an all-purpose container.
The company of the Queen of Moderation. We've been graced with such company tonight.
Uh-oh.
In the chat room tonight, we have Clue Minotti, not to be mistaken as a 2 words or a first and last name. And she's so what? What did we determine today about this carrot cake? I think that the viewer's interested in the carrot cake event.
The carrot cake. Well, what we determined is that on day 5, it's still delicious, still fresh.
The Bugs Bunny cake is still kicking.
That's right. What's up, Doc?
I don't know if it was as fresh as my hamper, but he claims it was fresh.
Well, it's been sitting in a dark oven, so that wasn't on. So I'm hoping it's a little fresher.
You know, people say if you're scared, get a dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to apply some kind of rule of being afraid of passing gas, because that does happen to you when you get older. You have a fear of farting. Very confusing.
I would say if you're scared, just hang your hamper full of used underwear around your house, and that'll keep damn near anything away.
And I tried to make reservations at the Lick of My Balls Convention Center, and it's overbooked.
Yeah.
So I want to thank the people who participated in supporting Cock Tower and keeping it erect.
I don't know why this entered my head, but when I said what I said, it reminded me of this story. There was this fucking guy I worked with one time, and we were at a factory, and 4 of us went out. Well, it was about 6 of us. We went outside one day, and he was a very, very, he reminds me a lot of you. And
that lucky son of a bitch.
He had to park his fucking truck, pull it into the spot about 3 times every fucking day to make sure it was the exact same distance between lines. He would
Yeah.
get out, walk around it. He would make sure that motherfucker was parallel to both lines, the exact same spacing. Every day he did this, and he parked in the same spot. So one day we went out at lunch and we picked his fucking truck up and moved it by hand.
Oh
And
shit.
he watched him come out from work, and he stopped about 10 feet out the door, and he's just staring like like somebody had just turned his world upside down. So the next day we thought we'll do it again. We come in at the same scenario. He comes in, lunchtime comes, we go outside, and the six of us reach underneath the fenders and the body to grab it. And this bastard has put axle grease all around the body of this fucking truck. And we look up, and he's standing there at the door laughing at us. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
remember one time when we had winter cars. I used to work in an auto parts store, and all of us had winter cars and summer cars. And this kid Pete, I even propositioned hookers to get in bed with this guy. He was a virgin for he may still be. He looked like Elmer Fudd's offspring, exactly. and in fact, he wore a baseball cap that gave the illusion of Elmer Fudd perfectly. It was like you knew it was Elmer Fudd.
Well, maybe
But I
he and I
remember him,
meeting since I'm apparently Bugs Bunny.
what we would
we'd be
do is
mortal enemies.
we'd park behind somebody that worked with us, right?
Yeah.
And we would all leave, and we'd all get in our cars, and I'd leave early, and I'd sit in my car, and he'd come out, and he'd go to put his key in the door, and my bumper would be wrapped up against his bumper, and I would just start pushing his car, trying to put the key in it. Now this car is locked, and the wheel's locked, and it's in park, and it's going across the parking lot. Fucking Pete's yelling and screaming, his hat's falling off, and he's yelling, "Cut it out! Cut it out! Cut it!"
Oh fuck.
I never met. I remember at the bowling alley. I tried to get a couple of hookers to take him out to his car, and they were like, "No, we'll pay." Said, come on, man, $100 each. No, thank you. Wow.
They said they'd rather hunt rabbits or wabbits.
That's what we used to say. Pete was funny. He was a nice guy, very very nice kid. But we did probably torture him a little too much, but not Taliban torture, We didn't have waterboarding in our minds back then, but we might actually fucking done that for all I know. What the hell? So all the world's a stage, Cletus.
All the world is a stage.
And now the stage has become centered on JLR, the shit stirring maniac of YouTube. He is now the prime star in the potential finding of Sebastian Rogers, I'm hearing.
Well, his Facebook group is for sure, because his Facebook group managed to get a picture that was sent to the way the story goes or reads, I should say, is that a local in Hendersonville, where Sebastian went missing from, received a photo from a friend that that was taken in North Carolina, and the photo looks a whole lot like Mr. Sebastian Rogers.
Now, what's in North Carolina that's of note?
Mountains.
Chris's parents or something?
No, not that I've heard a lot of rumors about connections to one side and not really so many of the other, but there's also rumors that Seth knows the one of the other people in the picture, and then it's not that he doesn't know. And at the end of the day, ultimately, the master of all has spoken. Nick Barris has said that it's most likely AI. So we must fucking believe that, because God knows he would know what AI looks like, judging from his past video footage.
And we're all intelligent to know that there's no such thing as AI. We realize it's just algorithms that are written very cleverly that we help fucking train.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Yeah. But Nick Barris will keep telling us it's artificial intelligence, because that guy's closest fucking encounter with intelligence is fucking astronomical units, which are, just so you know, one astronomical unit is 92 million fucking miles. And this guy's got an infinite amount of astronomical units between him and intelligence. Clear?
Well, it's the perfect setup for him, right? He can, if it's confirmed, he can come out and say, "Oh, well, I was wrong, but I'm still relevant." And
He won't.
if it's confirmed to be AI, he'll go, "See, I told you. Now watch my episode about the dangers of AI."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got it covered coming and going. And that these clickbait lovers and these drama queens, they have all angles covered, and they never can lose. and they never lose, and that's the best part of it all.
Yeah.
For some reason, no matter which way the wind blows, their Willie is out there in the wind enjoying it.
Yeah, he will undoubtedly create the scraps for the creators on YouTube to feed the viewers from, for sure.
The viewers from, we had an interesting conversation earlier about Ukraine.
Yeah.
That maybe that would be a topic we can cover, because it seems like none of these cases have moved forward. Now, I don't know if something's come out in the Idaho 4.
Yeah,
Something.
there's a filing about there's a hearing set on May 2nd to hear the argument from the prosecution about closing the hearings and hearing the defense's objection to closing the hearings.
Beautiful. So, yeah, she's going to fight to keep them open from now on. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. That tells me that she's got something she wants the world to see.
Yeah, I would be real curious I would be honestly surprised. I'd be amazed if she wins that objection, because the state's motion was based on things related to requests for discovery, right? Which now I see it, and I'm like, yeah, I think they're using that to make sure that the judge sides on, or errs on their side instead of the defense, because it's going to be kind of hard for Ann Taylor to prove that there's nothing dangerous for the public to see.
I don't think that's going to be hard for her to prove. I think if like Golf Inspector and I have a differing, well, we have the same opinion, but she thinks that there's a physical witness, a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's true, then keeping that secret and quiet is absolutely not an issue at all.
Right.
I don't need to know that's even their testimony to let it be known may not be harmful unless it uncovers something in and of itself that would Kohberger would be able to identify the person. If it has none of that, then even that can be shared. As far as the FBI, they've kept that silent. We don't know all the genealogical work. We don't know anything about what Othram did or didn't do.
Well, if it's a confidential informant that could, that could be somebody, let's say somebody in the home, somebody as a neighbor, and what their statement is could lead to their identification, then yeah, I think it probably should stay sealed.
Right. If there's someone giving direct testimony and they're a live, living, breathing person that's not connected to the IGG,
mm-hmm.
then I don't want to know who they are. But people on YouTube aren't going to accept that, agree with that, or even try to understand the reasoning behind it. But let one of their loved ones be a key witness in a quadruple murder homicide and see if they want to parade that person's fucking name out there. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I say. That should be the litmus test. Would you want your loved ones to be treated like the Proudfoots?
Yeah, that's true. And it was funny today, right? Because this photo is out, and then there's all this drama in this one chat that I was watching to look for some information, and there were a couple of people in there, typing in all caps with the exclamation points and the stop signs, going, "This is not Seth's sister. I've just spoken with her. Please stop saying this." And I'm like, yep. Now here we go. The other side of the situation is facing the all the hell that the one side has been put through for months. Yeah.
This again is the epitome of the filth that actually indoctrinates and actually spreads into the brains of the fucking unwitting 5.62 billion morons. That picture should never be public.
No, I agree with that. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been released, whether it's fake or whether it's not. It should have never been posted in a Facebook group.
Once it's been clarified as one or the other, okay, and let's say it's clarified as real, it should not have been posted, because anybody that would have been involved with his being there would now potentially be alerted to everybody knowing.
Oh yeah,
that's put the kid in harm's way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it's fake, nobody should know it's fake until after it's determined to be fake, and then there's no need to post a picture, unless it's a general conversation that people mistook, right?
Well, and the funny thing about it is it was taken Saturday. Judging from the data that's associated with it, it was taken on Saturday. So why wait till Monday to put it onto a public platform if you're going to put it on a public platform? It's just a little odd. And it's if it's real, then it's unfortunate. because I mean, if somebody's got him out there, they're undoubtedly watching things, you know.
Well,
So
it's
yeah,
clear one of our audience members has a keen eye. Apparently, Kimber is aware that the cock tower has changed positions, and her mental acuity and her visuals are making many cock towers change position. Cletus?
Oh, the smart ass never ends, does it?
Well,
That's great.
you know, these interesting connecting comments are required, I suspect.
Oh, yeah.
What do I know? I'm just fucked up from the floor up, you know, like everybody else. I also hear that there's a breaking news that this A.R. Haynes with the two bold no, I don't even get them fucking earrings in his nose, to be very honest with you. To me, that's as bad as the guy with the googly eyes. Once you see it, you can't get rid of it, and it's not the kind of nose you want to pay attention to.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe Trev Time's the one that pierced his ears, and that's why they ended up in his nostrils.
They missed. Son of a bitch. And he's like, I promise I won't do it again. Whack. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was your ear. That's insane. Well, you heard it here. Don't get piercings from that guy.
Oh, shit.
JLR is on the case with this photograph. That's good. That's comforting to know.
Yeah, that provides hope to humanity right there.
Did we send it over to the asphalt reflectors?
Yeah.
And the other team, there's another thing going on where they've got a laptop, and they're showing pictures of the laptop of people harvesting babies, apparently from the deceased victims. That's the new sickness on that side of the aisle.
I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time, because I have not.
I don't know that I want to.
Okay.
Apparently, there's photographs that show people removing babies from the crime scene to suggest that the girls were pregnant.
Yeah.
And then there was something put on their. I listen. It's disgusting what I was shown today. I didn't watch.
So what you were shown was suggesting that they were pregnant. They were forcibly and brutally aborted and left. And
then there was something put over their faces. I don't know what. Hang on. Yeah, it just gruesome, nasty shit, bro. Like, really? What kind of sick, evil mind? Even that piece of shit Stephen King couldn't think of stuff like this.
So it's progressed from true crime to true snuff crime. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And apparently, there were 400 people watching it on telephones and laptops.
Oh, yeah. The pay-per-view thing. Well, that makes sense. Who wouldn't? I mean, you know.
To me, the hope JLR provides is you hope he doesn't fucking see your case, because if he doesn't, you might be a little better off. Someone just said they're going to hell. Texas Giggy. We're all going to hell. I think it's inevitable.
I think we're there. It's called social media.
Well, we created it. We turned it into a hell, didn't we?
Yeah, we jump on every day, every night, whatever time we jump on, and we, 5.619 billion of us look any way to attack or tear down a victim in a situation or each other. I mean,
it makes horrific fucking comfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sad tragedy. There's so many people out here on the internet that just use it for these uncouth fucking it's just, man.
Makes me question when I was a kid if I should have just kept touching the hot stove.
These people must get off on the pain. Well, that's the one thing. Can I just say, these keyboards should send electric shocks right through your fucking arm and into your head when you start going down these fucking rabbit holes with the crazy reflections and the crazy theories and the fucking towers and the fucking tunnels.
Oh my God, Sarge! I just came up with a great invention, and you
wait a minute, wait. That hang on a second. Hang on. We're gonna have to. Cletus has breaking news.
So, invent a keyboard that sends an electric shock to your asshole so that it puckers, and that way you tell the truth when you're typing.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, nothing's about you, Jeff. Chill. Is there something I said? No, it was something Cluminati decided she wanted to do, and She charged me $15, but because it's for 3 platforms and only works on one, I only owe $5. Cletus.
Yeah, but she included your photo, and
not yours, which is kind of like irritating.
Well, I'm the mysterious Bigfoot. Nobody's ever caught me on photo that can be verified. So,
well, you can't be a Bigfoot. There's no way that could be true.
JLR got close, in the search for Sebastian, but he didn't quite get there. So
he didn't know he had the Sasquatch breaking news moment. The proof of Bigfoot is here in Tennessee. I quit Facebook a while back. Yeah, no sense in quitting them. It's probably better to try to hang in there and point to people that just the nastiness and it's just, I don't even know. It's like people get up to get on the internet to smear shit all over their face and act like nobody can point out that there's shit smeared over their face. Please.
Yeah. I heard a good one last night. One of these creators was highly upset at Web Sleuth for shaming people on YouTube making money. And he was highly upset about that. He was quite triggered about that shit, and it was kind of funny. Because that lady didn't call anybody by name and didn't really refer to anybody specifically or even generally other than making money. But he took extreme offense to that shit. It was funny.
Who was that provider again that took the offense?
Dolly.
Yeah,
Dolly Vision.
Aren't all of these people making money on these clicks?
Well, and that was his point, right? It wasn't really that his point wasn't valid. I just thought it was comical to see him get so upset about it. And I'm thinking, now, if you're upset about this and she didn't call you by name, you might want to consider what you're doing, because it sounds like it resonated a little too hard with you.
Yeah, it looks like it hit something that fucking hurts.
Yeah, it
and listen,
it puckered your ass, didn't it?
The best part about all of this is everybody knows that you're paid to be out here.
Right.
Now, this channel is not monetized. I'm not even sure if it qualifies to be monetized. And I'm not even really sure where it's going to go when it is, if it ever is qualified, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not the point we came out here for. There's enough reward reminding you, dumb motherfuckers, just how ignorant and hateful you are. Cletus?
Yeah, I mean, I would think it's a platform for productive discussion, and well, either way it goes, right? Whether it be a positive in regards to discussing a case, or it's positive in regards of pointing out the bullshit that we see and that people are doing, and flicking some people in the foreheads to wake them up.
Right, reminding them constantly it's the viewer that drives the content, not the creator. These people don't create a goddamn thing.
Well, and you know what? I did see something very, very, very good today. There was somebody that was in the chat last night, and Web Sleuth did a follow-up last night, I guess, after this show ended last night. And that person that was in the chat went into that chat and did exactly what I suggested, and told them that what they did Saturday night with Chris and Seth and these fake fucking PIs, not really fake, but in my opinion, they're fake because they're fucking public and they're full of shit. But they told him, yeah, you were wrong. And the creator got pissed.
So I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about, that young woman. Because we recommend that's what we need to go from here to anywhere else. If we're seeing, and it doesn't need to be a personal attack. It sounds like she just made an accurate statement.
She made it a very the lady with Web Sleuth put it up on the screen. It was a very accurate. It was a very pointed and precise statement, and the woman took extreme offense to it. She said it's sarcastic and just stupid. And I'm like, hey, good morning. You woke the fuck up, didn't you? That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I mean. That's inspiring to me. That one person that we're aware of, and maybe many more have done it, but the one that we're aware of came so back to that fake fucking title we used.
Yeah.
That to me is awesome. And that's what it starts. One person starts it off outside of the few that are in here doing it already.
Yeah. It's a spark.
Mm-hmm. Right. She shouldn't have done what she did with that interview. And she's none of these folks have yet to ask. Now, how are you? How are things going? None of that. If they don't, the only reason the parents are important to them is they got targets and fucking a source of ammo being Seth and targets for their ammo, Katie and Chris.
Well,
Right.
and let me point out some of the bullshit that I heard in that follow up from Web Sleuths, right? So I didn't listen to the whole thing. I heard a few minutes of it and enough to see that go down. But I heard her basically saying that Chris was obnoxious and rude. Basically, you know, the same thing the rest of YouTube says about him.
Right.
But then said, you know, maybe Seth did lie. But if he lied calmly, we can talk about it. We can pull up what he lied about and maybe get to the bottom of it. And I'm sitting here thinking at the end of the fucking day, there is no getting to the bottom of it. If he lied, you're at the bottom of it. That's all there is to it.
Right.
Why do you need an explanation? You have the facts. Move along.
Right.
But it's
And so far,
her point was not just, you know, you don't talk to people aggressively or loudly or rudely. And I'm like, maybe you just shouldn't be so fragile.
Well, it is shocking how these fucking adults are so fragile. And I'm very happy. I wish I remember that person's name that was in here last night. I'm gonna have to go back through to that stream, see that, and look at the chat.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
But she was in here, and fair enough. I like that. I like that person. Blah blah blah. I respect them. I've been going there, and I have no objection to people having that particular point of view amongst the streamers they're watching.
Yeah,
however,
it's not. We're not saying that. We're not saying, you know, this is not Detective John. Where go unsubscribe, blah blah blah. No, go flick them in the fucking forehead and say, look, I like your content. Make the shit better.
Right. Stop drifting off into the rabbit holes and dragging us down theories and conspiracies that hurt people. No, that's what I mean. I wish everybody would adopt it. Like Harsh, I've been putting really harsh comments, no pun intended, under his streams because of the topics that he's covering. They're just unrelated. There's no way to factually support them as evidence of anything. It's just some potential idea. What were they talking about on the phone for 3 hours? Well, I put something rude in his chat. Okay. And his comments. What the fuck do we care why is it our business what Katie and Chris were talking about?
It's not. It does. It does. The extent of the nosiness that even is passingly acceptable is the fact that they were on the phone. If you got to be nosy about something, be nosy about that. And guess what? You can't get that information because it's not public. Move along.
And not just that. Now that topic infers that they were having a plan to get rid of Sebastian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But today, Harsh posted a topic that, fair enough. I don't know. He's probably not even aware of a little channel like me and you, right? I mean, he's a big guy, big dude, big following. So I'm sure he doesn't have any idea we exist. However, today he posted a topic about an Idaho 4 issue, and he really pointed out to the listeners where they're fucking up and falling down and they're causing trouble. And I put a nice comment in there because it was deserved. What he said was true, not just because he agrees with me, but how many people in this that comes and views this, how many of them would disagree that the agenda that the streamers run, that topic is driven by the viewer's willingness to engage it. It's all about the viewer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look how many people came in last night with that clickbait title just to leave with their ass hurting. I'm just saying, it's proof in concept right there. Right? I mean, it is what it is.
And if we're involved in creating, we're involved in discussing these topics openly in a public forum. How is it that people think free speech means that you can just be the most insane fucking dreamer of bullshit? There's new pictures coming out from a laptop, like I had said, and they're claiming there's babies being pulled out of these girls from the Idaho 4. Really? You sick sadistic piece of shit. How could anybody want to watch that? And watching that just encourages that creator to continue to get worse. So who's giving them the audience?
Who's giving them the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
It's
People that are surprised that a married couple could be on the phone for 3 hours, but then not realize in at the same time they're shocked by that. They find themselves listening to two knuckle fucks drone on for 5 hours about the fact that these two people were on the phone for 3 hours.
exactly, bro.
And the whole subject of conversation for 5 hours is about the fact that these two were on the phone for 3 fucking hours.
And we're on, and yeah, and what right do we even have to ask that fucking question or dig in? It's none of our business.
Well, and I would say this, right? This is a very pointed fucking statement, and I hope it stings. But if you have to wonder, if you're on YouTube listening to a 5 hour live or 6 or 7 or whatever, and if you're on YouTube and you have that question, turn fucking YouTube off and spend more time with your partner. You may learn that having a 3 hour conversation on the phone with your partner is something that's healthy. I'm just saying, right? It's one of those things that I find funny.
And it's beyond funny, and it's a sad kind of funny. It's like a sick funny. You come up here. How many millions of hours are invested in the bullshit? And if you compared that to the amount of hours that they actually talked and tried to work out how to find the boy, it'd be like 10 million to 1.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and that's another thing I find funny about this picture today, right? Is there's been a ton of discussion over who could be in it, and no discussion over what's the first question you asked me about this on the stream tonight. What's significant in the area? Not one time have I heard that today. Now I've already looked into it myself, but I hadn't said anything about it, right? But that's funny.
Right.
That as much conversation as I've skimmed through today, hearing about this, not one person has said something about that.
I did.
I know, but I'm just saying until it's just the way this is. Everybody wants to know: is that Chris's sister? Is that Chris's cousin? Is that Katie's cousin? Is it her aunt? Is it Seth's sister? An acquaintance? Oh my God, Seth knows her. Oh my God, no, he doesn't. And at the end of the day, let fucking law enforcement handle that. The picture exists. It's been turned over to them. Let's move along.
Yeah.
Be excited that we have potential proof of life.
Right. And let's see where it leads without the drama and all of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what I was expecting to hear. I was expecting to hear that location was going to connect to Chris's family or someone's family, and then this big extrapolated, yeah, they took the kid. And that's where it would go.
Yeah.
That's why I was concerned. What's significant about that area? Because that's going to add to the circus. And if they can't make that addition, they're going to make another addition. Now they're claiming that woman is a relation, and that picture shouldn't even see the light of day until the authorities review the photo and identify the people in it and go see if that's the boy.
Right.
And how is it that people on YouTube don't demand that? They should be like, we shouldn't be talking about this. We don't know if it's real. We shouldn't be speculating. What if it is real? No.
And here's what's really funny about it. I would venture to say that there's more bullshit been put out about this photo than there are facts actually known about it, probably by law enforcement. Because think about the number of people that have talked about it, looked at it, and thought about it, and it's all just speculation and bullshit, but nobody has actually acted on it. Nobody has supported law enforcement in their efforts with this photo. And it's a insane but probably real thought I just had that we've probably speculated more than they actually even know.
I would have said something. I would approach them if I would have just. That's the problem with today's society. You got to get a picture on a phone. You couldn't say, "Excuse me, Sebastian," and as somebody pointed out in the chat room, you couldn't say, "Ma'am, can I ask you? Hi, my name is Joe. Can I ask you something?" And show them a picture of Sebastian and say, "This, I don't mean the body, but this young man looks strikingly like this one." I mean, what the fuck? What if that was somebody that was in possession of the boy?
Yeah.
You're not even willing to ask questions or call the police immediately and then either stall the people or keep an eye on them, get plate numbers. I wouldn't be okay with just snapping a picture and then bringing it to the internet.
No, and I mean, there was a good point made earlier that, hopefully there's more photos and this is just the one that got sent. Because then, it's like, okay, well, it wasn't just taken to gain notoriety or to take it and send to somebody to show, hey, look what I got. Look who I saw today. You know, hopefully there are more, or there's more information, but we'll find out when it's time.
Or the other side of that coin is they knew it wasn't Sebastian, but he looked close enough to make a moment. Don't put it past anybody to do that. People are fucked up, man. Look
Yeah.
at that lady Dot that got involved with true crime and got involved in the Idaho 4 case. She went from trying to explain what she was seeing to me to all of a sudden standing in the fucking parking lot smoking cigarettes with these people, and I let her have it. For days you've been telling us you were on a balcony behind the house.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're down there smoking face to face with Dylan and her boyfriend.
Well, and I mean, even in this case with Sebastian, there's already been fake people interject themselves into it. Now, fortunately, it gets debunked real quick, right? Like the fake Facebook account from a guy in Oklahoma that said he had him. That shit was shot down, but it still made its rounds out here on the social media streets. It's I don't know.
Well, it's funny. That was part of what I think what Harsh did today was coming off one of his polls, and 20% of the people still thought that there was video footage showing Brian Koberger in a car at the crime scene. And we all know that that's just inaccurate. That's not true. There's never, ever been alleged this in any documentary, anything that's come from the court. And it's assumed by the people on the fucking internet, and they think it's a fact, and they go around and fucking make up their mind based on a fact that has got nothing to do with reality. They form their opinion, and they come to conclusions, and then they hold on to it like it's the last fucking lollipop on earth.
Well, that's interesting, right? That is interesting that it's only 20%. It's interesting to me because that poll, I assume, was on his YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that means, because initially, I would say it was probably 20% of the people for the longest time would have voted the other way. It would have been, a completely reversed outcome of that poll. And I have to sit and think about that. And I think about the number of people out here that are putting out bullshit and craziness, asphalt mirror manufacturers and shit. And there's still 20%.
Look what Jilly G says. I think they know it wasn't him and waited for him to look down so you couldn't tell for sure. I mean, they couldn't even give you a clear picture of the person they're alleging is maybe Sebastian Rogers.
Right.
It's always trickery and bullshit, and like they do exactly what the mainstream media does with the drama and the bullshit. Never a fact, and if it's a fact, they wrap it up in bullshit.
Well, and here's something that I think people really have to consider. When they post this on a social media platform, especially in the case of a missing kid, there are parents of this missing kid. These parents are going to see this photo. If it's not brought to them by law enforcement and it's bullshit, think about the tragedy that creates for them.
No, that's what I mean. It's a sad, sick fucking world, man. And it ain't the politicians and the cops and the prosecutors. That's a whole different level. That's just, they're your, if you people want a mirror, this has just struck me. Look at the people you complain about. That's your fucking reflection. That's you. The social media group. All 5.62 billion of you. You think Biden is corrupt or Trump is corrupt? That's you. That's fucking you to a T. You're seeing yourself in a mirror, and you don't want to admit that you're a big problem. You're a do-nothing big problem fucking group of people that have the capacity and the ability to change the fucking world. And you don't do that. You just sit here and you'll fucking suck on this photo now like it's the dick you never got. Cletus?
I mean, imagine if there's 5.62 billion people online.
Roughly, yes, sir.
And if, let's say, 5.61 billion of them are all batshit fucking crazy, but that 0.01 billion flicked one person in the forehead, and every one of those people flicked somebody else in the forehead and said, quit being batshit crazy.
Dude, it would spread like wildfire.
I'm telling you. I mean,
And
look
that's
how mad that fucking crazy cat lady got today over somebody flicking her in the forehead. She got mad enough to put the comment on the screen and attack the person. That's
fucking
that.
awesome.
That was great.
So that's what I mean. What we're doing here, listen, maybe it isn't tasteful to some people. Maybe it's no better than what the others are doing. Whatever your fucking opinion is, the bottom line is, none of us should be treating each other the way we treat each other on the internet.
Agreed.
And I said things a while back, and I had said that money isn't the problem; it's how you interact with the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these people on the YouTube are a good example of how people around the fucking world, how everybody interacts with their money. They don't give a shit how it's made as long as it's made. Any cost is cost enough as long as it puts money in their pocket. It's pretty fucking sad.
Yeah. And it's really sad when you've got to choose when you have to say amongst all of them, at least this guy is honest about his intentions, and that puts him at a higher level than the others. You know what I mean? That's the real sad state of fucking affairs. Is
Well,
of all the people on your list, there's one that makes no bones about it. He got to eat. Dolly got to eat, and that because of that, that puts him in a higher light in that list. It's craziness.
well, I don't mean to cut out there. I did cut out for a minute. I'll do this later. I was depositing a check electronically with the phone. It's the only app that I have.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't want to accept I got to do it in a better light or something. There's always some bullshit with this technology. But anyway, that's an interesting thing. But that girl did it. Did the girl get kicked out of that stream? Do we know?
I don't know. And honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because the point of it is she made this lady think enough to put the comment up, highlight it, and talk about it. And I'm sure when her stream was done, she thought about it at least 3 more times about how pissed off she got. And the comment wasn't even hateful or rude. It was just direct. And it's like, yeah, that's funny.
And yeah, see, that's what I mean. The right thing, it'll stick in that person's craw now. It's only going to take a few more people to point that out to any of these creators that are doing it. And even if you get banned and others come in behind you, when you see these people with these crazy fucking reflections and noises and sounds, and you call them out and say, I just hope that if something happens to one of your family members, you people don't get a hold of it like you have this. Point out that it's just wrong. It's nasty what they're doing. I don't know who committed those crimes in Idaho, but I don't think it's my right to start accusing frat people, fraternity people, grub truck people, people in fucking police cameras, people that weren't there. I don't think that's that I have any business to do that. It makes no sense to me. I don't even know how intelligent people that claim they're educated could even engage in that kind of conversation. Please.
Yeah. I'll tell you another case that I saw a clip on the other day. So the two ladies in Oklahoma that were, killed and thrown in a 10-foot hole by these 4 or 5 people. I don't know how. I know 5 people have been arrested related to it, and they labeled themselves as part of this group called God's Misfits. And I saw a news clip the other day. It was an interview with, and I think it was even titled something about the leader of God's Misfits. And what it was it's a man and his wife in over on the East Coast, and he was pissed because he was talking about how much hate and death threats and just nastiness he had gotten because somebody had dug up God's Misfits on Facebook, and because he was affiliated with something labeled that, he's the leader of these 5 people, when in fact he's not. It's just him and his wife and what he calls his, what they wanted to be known as, and has no affiliation to these people. And it's like, yeah, there's a real good example, right? Just because this poor bastard's got a name that's the same as what these 5 people associate with, the internet attacks him without doing any homework at all.
Fucking crazy. Well, they did that with all these other cases too. I mean, to every single case. It's not just I don't even know. It's almost like I don't even know how to explain how the fucking herd starts running down this fucking road like it does. And more people get in with the herd. How many people were talking about tunnels in the beginning with that fucking circus looking motherfucker?
What do you mean the beginning? That shit went on until 2 days after the house was tore down?
And even the day the house was tore down, he's trying to make an argument that proved him right. Look at that doorway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I whatever. And then he disappeared, and nobody's held him to account. None of the followers, and that's the viewer. The viewer, you want good, accurate content, demand it from your host. Right? I'm not going to extrapolate Dylan was this and Dylan was that, and fucking Dana did this and the Sprat did that. I'm not there. I don't know, and there's no way for me to reasonably know that. And to decipher that from images, I mean, if you could decipher that from images, you might be like one step from Christ with reflections in asphalt and off trees and the fucking moon. Man, I will fucking slap you one.
Flick you right in the forehead.
Fucking A, bro. It's bang up crazy what we're watching.
No, it is. And part of me wonders if it's a situation where there's just so, I would say almost no, if any, it's so fucking remote and hidden and buried in terms of an actual source of just accurate, unbiased, no bullshit information out there, that people are hungry for information and they just latch on to the tit from the bullshit instead of stopping and thinking about the information that they're consuming and getting emotionally tied to. Like, to me, I think, if I'm going to watch something, I'm going to watch because I like the person's personality at first, but the minute they're coming out with bullshit that's just fucking wackadoodle bullshit, I'm going to go somewhere else. But if I like their personality, I said that wrong. If I like their personality, I'm going to flick them in the forehead and tell them, like, this is bullshit. Don't do this.
Yeah, enough of this back chatter, side chatter. Where did he live? Who did he live with? Where did he work? How did he perform at work? And I mean, if you can't accept the facts coming out of the Kohlberger case, then fucking go look at something else. The facts at this point show a particular story that is totally contradictory to what he's accused of. If you don't like that, too fucking bad. Now, if something happens, if this great grand fucking secret message comes out of the fucking prosecution that shows he was there, unequivocally there, then that's different. Then fine. I can accept that if it happens. But I can't use the unknown to defend my unwillingness to accept facts that are right in front of my face. The facts say what they say. It's not your job to like or dislike. It's your job to just understand the facts in front of you and wait for more facts to complete the puzzle. It's really not that difficult to think. It's kind of fucking simple, Cletus.
I agree. There's no emotion in fact and logic, but there's all kinds of emotion in belief.
And it gets so deep into the sludge of the fucking world. It's just terrible how, and people don't, I don't know how so many people don't just vomit on themselves.
Oh fuck.
Do you guys think whoever is that Maddie told Adam will turn out to be important? Probably not. That was probably her saying Adam knew at the grub truck what they were going to order, that they were coming. Probably could be something completely innocent that was turned into this. Look at this pickup truck behind him. It looks like Jack's. I wish someone would jack me off for all the stories they told there. I would give my 21 days every day.
I would consider where it originated, right? Where with a source that it came out to the public on. And then I would compare that to the bullshit Nick Barris pulled, and I would see what the similarities are. Right? What are the questionable things that you cannot fucking vet about either one of them? And then I would just let it fucking go.
And you could walk around with suspicion you think someone else did it, but to then build a case against that person and get other people to follow along with your perspective, that's a bit fucking drunkard. Be nice about it. I don't know. What do you think, Cletus?
No, I agree. I mean, if you start a theory off of bullshit and you keep building on it, you're just going to end up with a bigger stack of bullshit.
Right. And I hear this A.R. Haynes there, the bullnose guy, wants someone to interview him so that he can, people can learn all about his past and everything about him. And I don't know, but if it's a true crime show, what the fuck's it got always be about him and his story about being a criminal? I just don't understand. Is it like, I'm an ex-criminal, but I guarantee you that in the 30 years that I haven't been a criminal, I've done so much more for society than I ever took from it that it's mind-boggling. That's what not being a criminal means. You turn your life around. You do things different. You do things that you were opposite of what you were doing before. Not continuing to come out and con the fucking masses.
Well,
right?
I think when you come out into a social media platform and stand on your background, you always end up looking like the jackass. Because you set yourself up to be proven wrong because you stood yourself up based on your background. When you're just another asshole with a microphone, there's nowhere to go. You're always on a level playing field. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
Right. Maybe, listen, I think maybe because I think what we're doing makes a statement without us even having to bring it up. And we're out here attacking the general audience, which is completely contradictory to what all YouTubers do. They're out here trying to gain your favor. Fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair.
And we will gain your favor. Even if you hate us right now, we will eventually gain your favor because you'll come around to see that the streets of YouTube, as sick and fucked up as they are a result of the sick and fucked up we allow and participate in.
Yeah,
all we need to do is cut it out.
You'll come in because your ass hurts, or you'll leave with your ass hurting.
One or the
other. That should be the motto. You should put that on the banner.
Your ass hurts before you got here or when you're leaving. Yeah. But just remember, it hurts. Oh my God. Yeah, we are a bit off the beaten path there, Cletus.
Yeah.
But somebody has to be.
Yeah. It's hard to argue. I've yet to hear an argument. In all fairness, I mean, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks, and I've yet to hear an argument.
Even on people that different.
I think the most intriguing argument I've heard is tell her she's created a terrorist. You remember that?
No. Remind me, man.
Yeah, that one came in and said, "You tell your mod that I donated money to her channel and she blocked me. She's created a terrorist."
Oh, that was funny. I forget who did that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the best part is that well, good, go be a terrorist. I mean, I'm sure the government doesn't mind one more. The fucking people are going to be a terrorist because you gave someone money there. And we've had that discussion numerous times about people expect some kind of favor for their money or special attention. And that's a funny thing. Now, I've been on a lot of panels, right? Hundreds of them, in all fairness. And I never gave no one a penny. If I had to pay you to be on your panel, I just wouldn't go up on your panel. Fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't funnel money to you and Clue to be your friends or be fucking involved with you on YouTube, right? I didn't buy my way into anything. But yet when we had a stream and I promised $100 as a prize, I absolutely kept my word and sent $100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a real person being a fucking real asshole because that's what I do. And the reason I do it is there's just too many targets out there for you not to do it. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
5.619 billion.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's a target-rich environment. I mean, I can't miss when I take a shot.
Yeah.
It's like I'm the champion fucking shooter. They kind of came at you last night. I took it. Well, look at it. It's that we don't want the third party or the unverifiable fact discussed. We'd rather discuss a whole new case. Bring us information on something new that we could get involved with. We'd do that. Absolutely. Right, Cletus?
That's right.
But I don't want to hear what the hell this fucking Seth did at one of his. He's telling people he pissed or spit on a pizza. First, I don't need to know that, but that should be your first indication that this gentleman is most likely on the spectrum, and engaging him and fucking throwing gas on shit for him so he can hit it with a match is just to me, that's abusing Seth. So yeah, I don't know. And that I don't even know if that's an opinion, if that isn't really based in fact when you look at the whole situation. These people are not helping that fucking father. They're doing harm to this guy. The people that he needs to have close to him are the people that were close to Sebastian. Those were the people that he was involved with before the young man went missing. And what have we done?
Well,
What
and
have
like,
you done? They've fucking hammered a divide between these people.
well, and like I said, Saturday night, he's gotten the best advice I've heard him get in 2 months, and it was given to him by the one of the parental figures, and it was, Seth, shut up.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, you know. But
yeah, and you know, see, that's the thing. I think once people realize what I'm saying, and they finally get to a point where they like, you know, I can't argue that as a fact. We've helped do harm in this particular situation. We've helped do harm in the Koberger case. We helped do harm in the Kansas City 3. It's not your intent. I will say this for the 5.62 billion fucking people out here. Your intent isn't necessarily to do what you're doing. And that's why I say you can change what you're doing. Because really, nobody wants to be in, you know, I do. I'm unusual. I'm on that last few fucking jerk offs of the world that don't mind being an asshole. Even my friends will tell you he's a fucking asshole. I'm a very helpful and knowledgeable asshole, but nonetheless, I'm still an asshole. And yet most of you are not that way. The vast majority of you are not. Yet somehow you've allowed your voice to be turned into an asshole and create more harm than good.
Well, and at the end of the day, one thing I would say almost nobody could deny, if they truly sit back and consider what they go and participate in on social media, they listen to assholes all day. So what's the difference between that and one that tells you how it is direct?
Right. Yeah. With no shame and no apology, and also accepting that I myself have transgressed on the same things that I'm pointing out to the masses. I'm no fucking super fucking human. I'm not better than anybody. Well, maybe a few of you, but for the most part, right?
So what you're saying is you have the capacity to be wrong and the capacity to acknowledge it when you're wrong
and learn from it. Yeah, and then incorporate it into the way I live life and treat others. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I don't shit on people just to shit on people. I had a nice throwdown with Dago a while ago, and we kind of parted ways. But as time went on, and he came up and apologies were spoken, and things are not put behind. It's over. Right. But the problems that start between people oftentimes come from you fucking lunatics that are in these streams all the time. You regulars that somehow have this sick fucking need to be the center of attention. And you'll go out and you'll talk shit and say this person said this something about this person and that person, and you'll just start spouting at them out. I think that War Pig is one of the people that did that, or others like that. And it's just, you know, it's an unnecessary fucking behavior, and it's just egregious that adults do that. And you create fucking problems between people. And the problem in that situation was simply that person doing that stuff wasn't just stomped out immediately. That was my position. People that do that need to be crushed, humiliated, banished. Cletus?
Yeah. Pigs of war fly.
Pigs of war fly, yeah.
Weren't we discussing that? Yeah. Pigs of war do fly.
Well, you know, this has been an hour. It went by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We covered just enough to remind me, the viewer, that you are the fucked up party that needs fixing. Cletus?
You know what the best part is?
I know. What? You're going to hang up on me? Yeah. See? The chimpanzees in America tried to recruit me twice, but I could not live a lie. Mm-hmm. Listen, folks, it's been wonderful. We didn't really have much of a topic. We're going to let the internet do the internet thing for a day or so. We'll come in every day, obviously, for the hour. Some things that they do are egregious. I did want to cover the Ukraine war, but we'll hold that for another day this week. Give you guys some information that I expect you to go look up and verify correct. If not correctable, if true, then it'll add to your understanding of what's going going on around us in the world. So people call it politics. I don't call it politics. I call it something Americans should be interested in. So for that, from the tip of Cock Tower, your ass hurts News Network. Good night.